I can't breathe. Gotta play my shit. Hold up.
Yeah. Never. Could never. Go hard or go home when you in this game. Always use your blanket when you switching lanes. Grinding work at 9 to 5 to ease the pain. Chill and turn umbrella when your bills rain. Go hard till you feel it. Get a job, open up a business. Haters gon' watch when you kill every murder case got a witness. Whole block going through the blues. Coming from the bottom, then you feel it. Being broke, leave a hole in your soul. Put your fists in the air, black folk, if you feel me. See, I came from the bottom, no lights, no gas. You can get robbed, no pipe, no mask. Throw a tea party, don't invite your ass. Now your belly got tissue to wipe your ass. It ain't no love from the government. Every president been on some sucker shit. Young niggas busting shit, no, I'm not loving it. This is the option they stuck me with. Grind hard till I'm filthy rich, you feel me? Grind hard till I'm filthy rich, you feel me? Grind hard till I'm filthy rich, you feel me? Grind hard till I'm filthy rich, you feel me? Hey, it ain't no love for your brother. It ain't no love for your sister. It ain't no love for no junkie. It ain't no love for the pusher. It ain't no love for the honest. It ain't no love for the real. It ain't no love for the loyal. Looking for love, get you killed. Filthy is what you gotta get. You gotta get dirty if you're trying to get rich. It's back to the mud, cause you gotta show love to all of the ones who will never see this. To all the little kids with no Christmas list. No TV, no bed, and no food on they dish. No father around, now they malnourished. That hindering aid coming from the government. You gotta get filthy. Fuck a job, open up a business. Haters gon' watch when you kill shit. Every murder case got a witness. Whole block going through the blues. Coming from the bottom, do you feel it? Cause being broke leave a hole in your soul. Put your fists in the air, black folk, if you feel me. I see I came from the bottom, no lights, no gas. You can get robbed, no pipe, no mask. Throw a tea party, don't invite your ass. Now your belly got tissue to wipe your ass. It ain't no love from the government. Every president been on some sucker shit. Young niggas busting shit, no, I'm not loving it. This is the option they stuck me with. Grind hard till I'm filthy rich, you feel me? Grind hard till I'm filthy rich, you feel me? Grind hard till I'm filthy rich, you feel me? Grind hard till I'm filthy rich, you feel me? It ain't no love for your brother. It ain't no love for your sister. It ain't no love for no...
Yeah. Yeah. Never ignorant, getting goals accomplished. Spit Tupac in, theosophic politics. Ancestors, we honor them. Niggas uniting all of them. Yeah. Never ignorant, getting goals accomplished. Spit Tupac in, theosophic politics. Ancestors, we honor them. Niggas uniting all of them. Follow us through the hypogeum to the Coliseum. I'm talking Machiavellian tactics mixed with Panther pride. The ghost of a fiend walking right by my side. It's the Theosophia, the concrete spiritual warfare. Plotting on the liberation while the system just stare. Pac saw the maze, saw the traps in the code. Told us thug life was the acronym to help us explode. Out the poverty cycle, out the mental cage. Redefining the criminal onto revolutionary stage. He wasn't just rapping, he was building the front. Uniting the Crips and the Bloods on the hunt. For a peace treaty signed in the blood of the block. Turning the hood to a nation steady ticking the clock. From the hypogeum, that's the cell of the deep. Where the secrets of the struggle and the answer to sleep. To the Coliseum floor where they want us to bleed. But we switching the script, playing a different exceed. It's socialistic visions through a gold rim lens. Trying to feed the whole tribe. Never ignorant, getting goals accomplished. Spit Tupacian, theosophic politics. Ancestors, we honor them. Niggas uniting all of them. Never ignorant, getting goals accomplished. Spit Tupacian, theosophic politics. Ancestors, we honor them. Niggas uniting all of them. Follow us through the Hypergeum to the Coliseum. Yeah! It's the study of God through the eyes of the oppressed. Theosophy in the gutter, unity of death. Follow the light through the underground. We going from the pits to the stage. NGA.
What's up? It's your boy Anu Kakarel, Ariana the Real Brown, Harube Niamonte in the flesh. Y'all know who it is. Naga World Representative, Titans, Debate League, Coliseum of Arguments. Holla at your boy. Y'all know who it is. I'm here with my two main men. You know what I'm saying? We got Ruger Lion and we got King Naga. You know what I'm saying? Like always, brothers, man. How y'all doing, man?
Oh man, another day, another dollar, bro. You know what I'm saying? Black at it again. You heard me? You know what I'm saying?
Peace. Know me, I'm in a cut chilling. Tell me your face. I mean, trying to coast.
Man,
What's
so
good,
like,
bro,
yeah, man. So I just wanted to like pose like a little question, you know what I'm saying? Like, cause we just gonna kind of bounce around on some things and shoot out the hip. So one of the questions posed in the back chat, right, is, all right, let's say for instance, your woman, right? She arguing with another woman, and the woman sitting here arguing with your woman, like, yeah, I'm gonna suck your man, you know, do this to him and do that to him, and that. Right, so the other women are saying, "Oh, you should have said something. You should have stopped it. You should have intervened between her and your alleged girl, right? Your alleged woman." And I'm saying, from a man's perspective, why would he intervene in that? You got two women sitting here arguing about which one gonna do it best, or you know how aggressive they're gonna be giving him pleasure. Like, why would he stop? Why would he stop that? That's entertaining to a man. So like,
Yo,
do you? So and
I don't
then
give a
it's like
fuck
they
what nobody
mad
say,
because
bro.
my reaction not feminine. Like my reaction to it ain't feminine. Like, yeah, I don't have a feminine reaction to that. Oh, but what if a man wouldn't say that to another man? Yeah, they say that type of shit to each other all the time. Like,
Yeah, I don't think at no point, right? Your girl, you know your girl. If she not giving you telltale signs. When two women are arguing as a man, mind your motherfucking business. I don't care if it's about you.
Mind your business. Mind your business.
Right, that's woman on woman, you know what I'm saying? So as
Yeah,
a man,
I'm saying like that.
your man aim is to stay out of that. And even with her, what was said, yeah, even with what was said, I mean, how do you even respond to that? What you say at that point, you know what I'm saying?
No,
my wife the only one my wife the only one gonna suck my dick. But at that point, you disrespecting your own marriage by putting your bedroom, you know, activities in the motherfucking street. So, you know what I'm saying? And the other way I look at that is this: if my woman let another bitch as much as think, she gonna outsuck my dick. You gonna suck my dick better than my woman, bitch? I wish my woman would cower to that shit. You supposed to step up to the plate and yeah, cause ain't nobody about to suck that better than me, bitch. That's how my woman. That's how I see. That's how I feel like my woman's supposed to be. Ain't nobody about to suck that dick better.
I'm saying like in a man's head, like that's where we would go with that, like.
Yeah,
that's our logic with that. We not thinking of it like how y'all thinking of it. Like, man, y'all emotionally attached to that shit like that. We not, and so they like, so would a man say that to another man? I'm like, you know, I mean,
yeah, I mean, we face with them type of challenges all the time. It's like we face with them type of challenges all the time,
especially when we into it with each other. When we got heated words between each other, that type of stuff most definitely be said. So the fact that you got two women that's having a heated exchange, I expect that type of rhetoric to go down. Like that's normal rhetoric if y'all both got Anna between each other. So I mean, you know, what would I look like jumping in between two women catfighting and shit, man? Like y'all, maybe y'all used to y'all see. Maybe that's what it is. It's like these new modern women, and it's the modern women in these back chats, right? So, like,
how you modern?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we got to come up with a different coin term for their type, because it's clearly a type. You know what I'm saying? When you got middle-aged women who try to dictate what a man is and try to dictate what masculinity look like, and they ain't got no man, and they can't keep one,
right?
And can't keep one. So it's just like I'm not gonna listen to somebody about how I should act as a man while I got a woman when you ain't got no man.
Yeah, that's taking a relationship from advice from somebody that's not a relationship. You can't take relationship advice from somebody that's not in a relationship.
Right, you know what I'm saying? So it's like they like, oh well, it ain't had nothing to do with, you know, like the situation. And they're like, oh, it ain't got nothing to do with you. And I'm like, how? That's my woman. So y'all saying that I should speak up when it's a woman on woman, but when it's woman on man, I shouldn't say nothing. Like I don't know. I'm confused on.
Yeah, because that's the exact situation at the moment. It's like, you know what I'm saying, it was a woman on man interaction that led into the festivities today, you know what I'm saying? And they're saying that woman is wrong and you're wrong for standing up for that woman, which just happens to be your wife. But you should have jumped in the argument between your wife and another woman who said, oh, I'm gonna suck your husband dick. I'm gonna bounce on that dick. Mind you, y'all probably about 1,000 miles away from each other. I mean, shit, nigga took their home, but my dick ain't long enough to reach from New Orleans to Texas.
Right.
So, you know what I'm saying? St. Louis to Texas and shit. And niggas' dick's not that long.
Yeah, shit just be wild, man.
Right. Shit crazy. They it's like, and you know, we're being told that we should make you face accountability.
It's like, what do you actually want? You know what I'm saying? Like, because they obviously don't want men. They want, like, I don't know what they want. I can't call it, bro, because like I said, it's just some goofy stuff to me, and like I'm just not gonna entertain that shit, man. Like I think it's funny. You know what I'm saying? That I ain't even got to talk to or address a individuals or anything like that, and like my name is tagged 1,000 times, and I'm like, damn, my old lady just got into it with another chick a few months ago for that same shit. Like the bitch keep tagging my name, like I'm talking to her. Like I ain't even talking to you. I'm not even addressing you. Go back and look. You got about 10 posts talking to me, talking jazzy as hell, and I ain't even reading them. I haven't even responded to none of them. Like, and I'm not gonna respond to them because it's silly to be sitting here arguing with a wanks that can't keep a man. Like that don't make no.
You know what that might. I ain't saying. I'm going off an overall observation of women, right? And that might apply to this situation when motherfuckers want to get you to react in a way, and you kind of don't. So, you know, women will keep pushing, trying to find a button they could jump and stomp on and shit to get you to react a certain way. You feel me? A little bit of that might be going on too. Because without an appropriate reaction, you feel me? None of this shit really makes sense, right? Without somebody exploding and saying and doing some crazy ass shit, right? The focus can't be shifted for real, right? Although it has tried to been, right? The focus can't be shifted for real. And there's nothing going on to overcloud that point, right? So right now, we crash out, nigga, so we could forget about the prerequisite, right? and go from the point of crash out and make that the topic of discussion. You feel me?
Right. Switching the goalpost.
Right.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And we see that shit like we see it a mile away. And that's all I'm saying. At the end of the day, man, we gonna keep it solid, man. So, like, okay, so one of the since we got that bullshit out of the way, because I don't even want to waste too much time on sitting there talking about female shit. You know what I'm saying? I'll wait the wife to get off. We can chop it up about that if she even feel like it, because she might not even feel like stressing that bullshit. So, my thing is, what do y'all think about Paul Songbird? Like that's kind of like who I wanted to talk about real quick.
I don't want to farther push any more. You feel me? I'm gonna just stick to the point of I think the shit that he was doing was good up until the point where he tried to state, even though after correction, that the Black Panther Party wasn't a black nationalist group, and try to make it an everybody thing. That's the only problem I have with what he was doing. Outside of that, he got feet on the ground. You know what I mean? He out there in them cops' face, like you said. He talking his shit. You feel me? He exercising his rights. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. So, you know what I mean? I know he got his own, what is it? Black Lion or Golden Lion Coalition.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
That shit might not it might take a hit now because, you know, now I got that nigga publicity behind it. You feel what I'm saying? So
he probably
now I'm already thinking like he ain't real, or, you know, it ain't an authentic movement, you know, type drink. So this is my own opinion. And like I said, I don't expect, you know, too many people to agree with this, but like I said, I'm not saying that the original Black Panther Party ain't doing nothing right now. I'm not saying that because I don't know everything, and I don't know all their movements and whatnot. I don't follow everybody, right? But all I'm saying is I haven't heard nothing about the Black Panthers until that man stood the fuck up. Like, Black Panthers was not trending. It was not trending until this man started demonstrating. Now, with that being said, I think that should have been an opportunity for the original Black Panthers to re-energize their base. They could have used him to re-energize their base and came back 10 times stronger. But instead, y'all chose the nigga shit. That's why our show called Niggas, because we just dealing with nigga shit. You see what I'm saying? Y'all chose the nigga route, which is oust them and make them look like a fool in public. Instead, y'all, I'm just saying, yeah, maybe y'all should have scolded them and did whatever y'all was gonna do behind closed doors.
I mean, that movement is absolutely needed. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yes,
it's absolutely needed.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, like, maybe they should just what's up, girl? Maybe they should have just consoled dude or something behind closed doors. But in the public, I think they should have just rolled with him. You know what I'm saying? I think they should have just rolled with him. You know what I'm saying? I think they should have just rolled with him, bro. And it would have made the Black Panther stronger. It would have made the youth. It would have made the youth get behind it. The youth. It would have been a whole new movement, bro. It would have been a 3.0, bro.
Did you just see that post somebody just made about another group claiming to be part of Black Panthers?
Yeah, that's what we talking about.
Like a whole nother besides the light skin.
Oh, that's a whole nother.
Yeah, somebody else just made one claiming to be Black Panthers. I was like,
well, I don't know. Like, it's a lot of vigilantes popping up, and I'm not saying the Black Panthers are a vigilante group because they're not. They freedom fighters and citizens, good citizens.
How it tastes.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, like, what's y'all spill on it? Like, do y'all think they should have got on his ass behind closed doors and then just roll with the public image to build on top of what was already built, or do you think they should have just did what they did?
Now, see, the thing is I think that they did reach out to him, right? And he said he was going to continue doing what he was going to do, based on,
Well, I know they reached out to him.
You know what I'm saying? So he had opportunity, like, you feel me? Like, if they reached out to him and told him how he feel and told him to cease and desist, know what I mean? He kept with the shit. Know what I mean? Me, personally, I'll be taking that as a fuck you, nigga. Like, you feel me? So now we gonna go and do what we gotta do next. There's only two things you could do: the legal route or the street route. You feel me? They chose to go to, I mean, well, you know, street route's the media route too. They chose two of the three. Legal route, media route. You feel me? At the end of the day, I mean, he knew what he had to lose at the end of the day. But the thing is in 2026, shit ain't really kind of like it was in 2016 or shit like that. You feel me? So people is kind of more lenient towards shit. So all he really got to do, that's why I said it's probably good that it happened now. Though all he got to do is survive this until the next thing come along. Once the next thing come along, he Gucci. Yeah, he just don't gotta crash out. Yeah, all he gotta do is maintain his composure.
If I was him, I would ride with it, right? Like, I'd be like, yeah, damn right, I use their name. Like, we supposed to stand on the shoulders of our ancestors. Nigga, I didn't think it was an issue. Shit, I mean, whatever, man. Like I said. And like I always bring it back home to this. That's what tribe is. That's what culture is. Like, if you don't have people that's gonna pick that shit up and carry it on into the next generation, you see what I'm saying? Like, it's gonna die with you. It's gonna die with you, bro. The revolution belongs in the hands and the hearts of the youth.
But check it out, though.
If your movement ain't shit without the youth, bro. And I'm just saying that was a good time to pass the baton, man.
Yeah, he might not survive it because if you look at it in stages, right? They didn't even really get into his family background. They just got into his legal background and, you know what I mean, what he been doing the last 5 years on the street. That's wave one. You feel me? If he act like he want, that's what I'm saying. If he could survive it, then he might do something. But like, the next wave gonna be his background. And if his background say anything outside of motherfucking black and something else, my nigga, now it's cultural appropriation, all types of shit. You feel me?
Yeah, somebody already came out and said that he got some old petty shit on his or some weirdo shit on his jacket. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying with the jacket shit. Like, if he could get past that, right? This is only wave one. Wave two is going to be his family background. That's what I'm saying. And if one of his parents ain't black, right? Now it's a whole different debacle. It's cultural appropriation. You feel me? All types of shit. Like, and they already calling him a undercover ICE agent.
Trying to incite racial war.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you can look at that as trying to incite race wars.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, you feel me? So
that's wild, bro.
I think on the surface, what he was doing, you know what I mean? Like, taking into account that the nigga not an agent, you feel me, or none of that, and he just never.
That's why I'm at with it. Did we confirm that he's not an agent?
That's what I'm saying. It's an investigation.
That's the only part that we give a fuck about. Is he not an agent? If he's not an agent, can we just get the fuck off his back a little bit?
But they not going to release that information. That's going to be like a final, like after the final wave, and like he's validatable.
Right. Final wave, if that nigga still alive and shit, right?
Right. You feel me? Like, oh yeah, the nigga ain't an agent and shit. You feel me? This, that, and the third. You feel me? Like, but at the end of the day, I mean, taking it on for face value. If the nigga just a regular average street nigga, you feel me, type shit that came and had a epiphany and shit, you feel me? Like I said earlier, you feel me? It's usually those type of dudes, you feel me? Like, you know what I mean, in general, that when we switch our shit, yeah, I mean, I try to see if I can reach out to him. He in Philly, like, so I'll see if I can reach out to him.
so
And
so
shit,
we can sit down and talk to.
yeah, and I'm pretty sure he wants some airtime to be able to speak his part of the story and shit. You feel me? So I'll try to see if I can find him and shit.
He might be a whole agent. Dude. That shit funny.
Yeah, word. That's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, you feel me? But just taking face value if for what it is, if it is a good thing that what he's doing. You know what I mean? If there's nothing behind it and everything, and it's just for what it is. You feel me? But he should have never opened his mouth up about motherfucker.
Because
Everybody
here's
know
the
the
thing
motherfucker.
with them agents. Here's the thing when them agents be infiltrating in those type of organizations and whatnot, right? They actually be doing like benevolent shit in those organizations, which be a tragedy when they have to turn around and backstab that same organization.
Right.
Like, let me see if I can't find that one video about the FBI agent that turned on their ass and started snitching and shit.
They
That's how
got
we
to,
found out about that
man.
Malcolm.
But that's why I tell niggas, like, we grew up on us, like, niggas our age, you feel me? Like, I'm glad we grew up in the time that we grew up in, because we had the cultural shit, you feel me, that let us be on the lookout for certain shit, like, even police shit like that, bruh. Like, I could take you to the movie Deep Cover. That's why I said, bro, just because a nigga sniff a motherfucking bag in front of you don't mean he not a cop, bruh.
All right, no word, word.
You feel me? Like, what are we talking about, bruh?
It shows you that on training day.
My nigga, like, come on,
Okay,
bruh.
so shout out to Harold Noel. Y'all could catch him at HViewTV, HViewTV.com. Y'all go check him out, show him some support, give him a thumbs up, like, subscribe, whatever you want, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna do. Let me pop him up on the screen real quick. Like for real, like dude, they be putting out this information. And this
man who worked as an informer for the FBI during the 1960s. His name is Dothard Perry, also known as Ed Riggs, also known as Bill Perry, also known as Othello.
Fellow out there singing.
Cash, and you would sign a card. It would go like this: a rendezvous or a drop-off point would be picked out either by yourself or the agent. You would meet the agent there, and usually it would be in a vehicle. You get in the vehicle, he would hand you the money. He would tell you first to count the money. He would tell you the amount while you counted it. If the amount was there, he would then bring out a card. On that card would be for the week of such and such. In other words, the week was dated. So-and-so has been paid the amount of. The IRS became very interested about where you were getting all this extra money from. You could always tell them to go back to the Bureau, and the Bureau would have your cards on file.
I see. Were there such things as bonuses?
Oh, yes.
What were they paid for?
Bonuses were paid for, suppose while you were meeting with, or you were at a meeting with Bobby Seals, Chulai of the...
See, like, and this the scary part, right? This the scary part of war, like, people don't really understand. Like, this is a counterintelligence agent that has been assigned to Black nationalist organizations to stop the rise of a Black nationalist organization. How do you get a nigga to agree to go along with something that is going to destroy his own community, his own people? And I get it, like maybe he just don't see himself as part of that group or something. But I mean, I don't know, man. It's like, and then the type of person that can do that. Don't you know you're the worst type of person ever? Don't you know, like, you gonna get it worse than everybody. The traitors get it worse. The traitors are. Always get it worse, bro. And it don't matter which side you on. You could be on the side that you traded for.
But that's the thing. That shit ain't like that no more, bro. They call that shit street culture now, bro. And they ain't even doing it on the streets.
That's wild.
It's okay for niggas to run around and be informing and shit, rats, nigga. Like at the end of the day, the fuck, like that shit is an okay thing type shit. Like, what, like that shit, wow, bro.
Right now they are just rodents. They ain't just rats, they rodents.
Bird letting these niggas breed and shit, having mice and shit. Like, what are we talking about?
Little fucking rat spawns and shit. The rats and the weasels are breeding.
Whole time they red ass got on a gangster costume.
That's what this is, a rat weasel bastard. Like,
bro.
You know what I'm saying?
Whole time they got on a gangster costume. If you're a rat, be Charleston White.
To the meeting too, which is something which would be a new development. That's bonus time.
Did you ever suffer pangs of conscience?
Quite a few times. Quite a few times. I still suffer pangs of conscience. I suffer from the fact that a lot of people trusted me and I misused that trust. I suffer from the fact that a lot of information that I gave out was the undoing of certain groups or certain people. I suffer from the fact that I'm on the run constantly. I have no real life to speak of.
You have no family life, really? You have a wife?
No, I don't have a wife. I do have a child. I can't see her that often. I have to stay away from them because once I come around, the Bureau shows up and harassment starts. I have very few close personal friends, no one to really confide in. It's like being on the outside of a glass jar and everything is happening inside the jar, but you're on the outside. You can see it happening, but you can't participate.
Why have you decided to talk to me?
For the simple reason, I think this information should be getting out, should be put out to the public, but everyone should become aware of what your so-called law enforcement agencies do, because between you, myself, and the audience, I've seen more felons in law enforcement than I have in prison.
Many would say, well, look, you yourself just got through saying that the DLA was involved in criminal activity. What's wrong with wanting to put them in prison? How would you answer them?
I would answer them in this way. First off, we have to understand why they did what they did. But I'm not even gonna go off into that psychological hoo-ha. What I'm gonna say is when you become just as bad as the people that you go after, then there's nothing gained and a whole lot lost.
You also were active in the infiltration of many cultural groups. Before we go into that step by step,
that nigga was a professional rat.
How much research and study did the FBI engage in of black culture?
Yeah, that nigga was a professional rat.
A great amount.
Give me an idea.
For the thing is, I can. They have a file on every.
Like he more like a spy, cause he like. You know what I'm saying?
No, you can put whatever nice name you want to put. That nigga was a professional rat, bro.
I know, but nah, rat is him, bro. Rat is when you telling them on the motherfucker. This nigga's a sabotage. It's a big difference. Like, not only is the nigga rat, nigga, he's sabotaging shit, nigga, and selling information. So nigga, like this nigga is a triple scumbag, nigga. Like this is
so what you telling me here, bat?
Hey, real talk. I'm gonna tell you. And I know this is just off the meat rack, right? I know this is off the meat rack, and this shit is gonna sound left field as fuck, right? You know who do energy he get? You know who he give me? Huh?
Oh.
Let me see if y'all feel this dude energy right here. Who do you like? Who y'all think this is right here? He in the back chat. Who is this?
Yo,
you see it?
The paradigms you put niggas in, man.
Oh,
this is
man.
crazy.
Hey, I thought it, but I wasn't gonna say it. You know what I'm saying? But
huh?
Oh man.
You see it?
Yeah, man.
He don't look like Buddy. Y'all tell me this nigga don't look like Yami, cuz. He don't give off that Yami energy. Like the way he talk, the way he move his body, like it. Okay, so I got this this thing, right? Where you know how like the whole 12 tribes of Israel and 144,000, right? Okay, so check this out. Like no tribes and shit involved, right? Okay, I think it's 12 different types of people. And those 12 different types of people are broken down to 144 different type of archetypes. And if you've probably already met everybody on the planet, right? You've already met every person that's on the planet because you've already came encounter with one of the 12 archetypes, right? But it's 144,000 different archetypes. Because like every dude that I know that look like this nigga, talk like this nigga, and move like him too. like have y'all noticed that?
Word.
I mean, like, I don't know, like, is it a weird thing? Like, maybe it's like that, what's that movie that came, they clone Tyrone? They clone Tyrone type stuff, bro. Like, because dude give me weirdo energy, just like Yamin, bro. He give me weirdo energy like Yamin, bro. And I ain't trying to sully dude.
Yeah, word.
Type of magazine. The blacks read. They have a file on the music, dance, theater, actors, comedians, you name it, man.
And they would actually study these different.
Yes. Oh yes, definitely.
What would they do with music?
To understand the people, you have to understand the culture. To infiltrate, you have to understand. You had a lot of so-called white liberals that were infiltrating the so-called black groups using the information that they had gathered from the studies of blacks.
You mean just to understand the behavior pattern of our people?
Oh yeah, I can. Will Heaton could name out some jams of Miles Davis that I hadn't even heard of. He could name off some books that I hadn't even read pertaining to black culture.
Do you ever see agents actually studying the music of?
Yes. I've seen them going over even video portion of cultural events. The understanding, like when you have an organization like Leroy Jones Black House. You remember that? Okay, Leroy Jones's place, which was done on the thing of tribalism. That's where I first heard the word Kintu, Mantu, Huntu, Hintu. These words of the African continuum. I learned that from an agent. He ran it down to me. They make in-depth studies of the personalities of the people they're dealing with too, culturally. It always helps
Also is
when it's the thing of you can take their culture and use it against them.
How large would you say an extensive collection on our culture would you say the FBI has? Would you rate it as large as a particular library, like the Schomburg Library in Harlem? Or...
I would rate it better. I would rate it better, and the fact is that they go into details that we probably would overlook. Will Heaton used to meet me in different places. You know, Will Heaton, that was one of my supervising agents. There is a certain bar in the Los Angeles area where people into black cultural things met, and Will Heaton used to meet me there. And he would go into very long.
I mean by when I say like he be infiltrating and sabotaging, like he ain't just a snitch. Like this is a low down. This is a dirty motherfucker. Like you know what I'm saying? Like this is a scumbag, bro. Like why is y'all like this? Like how can you do this to your own people, bro? And I'm just I'm pointing this out just like for Brother Paul. Like if you not one of us or you an agent or some shit like that, like that's like bro, like you soulless. You ain't got no soul. Like you sold it. You sold your soul. Like to you don't love your like you don't love us, nigga. You like selling us out. That's wild crazy. I don't know how niggas. How do you do that?
Yeah, boy. Shit, wow, man. You gotta find out who these motherfuckers was.
I guess they can't put you in a position where. Right, that's what I'm saying. I guess they could put you in a position where you can't say no. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta find out who they was before this shit, though. Like how they even stepped to them and why they was in such a position in the first place for a motherfucker to confront you with some shit like this. Like, you feel me?
I guarantee you, buddy wasn't getting no ass in school. He wasn't getting the draws. I think that'd be the main. That'd be the main people. I be thinking that'd be the main people that start turning on the race is niggas who can't find black love, real black love, is the ones that turn on the race. I don't know. Maybe I'm speculating.
He probably got caught up in some widow shit that only the all them people know about. They have that shit over there.
This sad. I'm just saying, like y'all. This sad though. If that's what it come down to, like if that's what it is gonna be. You feel what I'm saying? Like y'all really gonna like y'all be straight backstabbing y'all own people and then y'all go to sleep. Yeah, you did. It's like, don't the ancestors torment y'all when y'all go to sleep? Like,
no, he's smiling the whole time.
That y'all would even do that.
And he an embellisher too, but he's smiling the whole time. It's a cynical smile. It ain't
I mean, you gotta think he proud of his work. The nigga's an infiltrator and a saboteur, and he's good at what he do. So I don't think, like, if you listen to him, I think he kind of remorseful about the shit he did.
No, I think he'll do it again. Give him the chance. He probably got better ways. He would have thought about going about certain shit in his head after the man. I
Right,
should have
right.
did that. I should have did that like this, and then I would have been able to boom, boom, boom. He probably got a bunch of money tucked away somewhere too. Heard up. Yeah, nah. I think given a chance, he'll do it again, bro. You know why?
You do
Because
it again.
he a repeat offender. He has been given a chance and done it over and over again. Yo.
Right, you right. Each time he could have been like, no, not this time, right?
Yeah, nah, he perfected his art, nigga.
Right, he proud now. And they got a title and everything.
And tiring conversations with some very articulate brothers about culture, African culture, and Afro-American culture.
Tell me about some of the cultural organizations that you infiltrated and what you did.
PASLA, Mafunde, Watts Writers Workshop, which they have.
The Watts Writers Workshop?
Yes. Watts Writers Workshop, which was one of the oldest established Black writers workshop.
That place was burned down.
Yeah. The Bureau had it.
That nigga family still alive?
How do you know that?
I know because I participated. I did the arson.
You burned down the Watts Writers?
Yes.
Why did they want it to go?
At the time, funding had been cut to the workshop, had been cut out, but it looked like there was a possibility of a grant being given back to the workshop. And if there was no theater, there would be no grant.
How did you do it?
2 cans of kerosene, Purex bottle, gasoline, and a flare, highway flare.
Can't you use more sophisticated stuff?
You're never overly sophisticated. It's too obvious. This way you make it look like, maybe somebody in the neighborhood that got kicked out of theater at one time got mad and came and burned the damn theater up, that kind of thing.
But you were involved in this theater? I mean, did it get to you at all what you were?
Hey, man, that got to me a great deal. I love that theater. I built the stage.
You built the stage?
Oh, yeah. When I got to the workshop, the stage that had been, the original stage that had been built needed an extension on it. The original part of the stage was in terrible condition. They had no lighting system. I put the lighting system in myself.
Bruh, I'm just saying, like, if you this type of nigga, like, I ain't gonna tell you.
But check, he only felt, that's why you don't fuck with niggas like that, bro. He only felt remorse because he put work in there. He built something. Right. He don't feel remorse because it was a black thing or potentially killed black people in the process. Like, you feel me? That's crazy.
And stopped a bunch of writers and producers and black activist shit, bro. Killed that shit all simultaneously in one blow. Damn. Oh, y'all, it be your own people.
He a little too proud for me, bro. He should have been on a run for the rest of his days, bro. The day he died, it should have been a gang of niggas looking for him.
God digging his body here.
Stage in myself. And that was a stage, man. And that was a theater. It's a nice theater.
Who was the director of that workshop?
Harry Dolan.
Harry Dolan. Some very, very well-known artists supported that workshop, gave money to it.
Some very well-known artists came out of the Watts Writers Workshop. Glenn Tubman, Yaphet Kotto. Sidney Poitier used to come down there and give a class. Sammy Davis Jr. used to come down there all the time. Quincy Jones used to come there and give music classes. We had our own 8-track studio setup for sound. We had our own sound room there.
Was part of your other activities and responsibilities to study the profiles of celebrities who were supportive of organizations?
Definitely for blondes. Did he have a weakness for money? Did he snort cocaine? Did he smoke marijuana? They even get into, and that's one thing the Bureau loves is their sexual background. They have files and files on different blacks, not only celebrities, but a lot of others, sexual activity.
What would they do with this information?
Oh, that's used as a weakness.
So they would feed these to the weaknesses?
Yes.
Did you see that happen?
Oh, yes. Doc Holliday. California state prison system. Upon his release from prison, made herself known to him at a nightclub, whereupon he moved in with her, and she picked up names, telephone numbers, information, that kind of thing. That lasted for a good 3.5 months.
Was this an unusual thing, or did this happen often?
No, that happens all the time.
Did you yourself get involved in doing that?
Yes.
Give me an example.
There was a gentleman that was on trial in Los Angeles that belonged to the BLA that had been busted in a southern state for a bank robbery, but
talking about
was brought with 2 other people to Los Angeles.
Like he didn't jump group to group, sabotaging all the motherfuckers.
Shut up.
Right.
Serial saboteur. Like this is a scumbag, bro.
Right.
And I'm just asking, Brother Paul, are you one of these niggas? Come holler at us, bro. We want to holler at you on the level, nigga. Like real talk. To see, I mean, like if you one of them niggas, like just let us know. We can back up and let the people deal with you.
You said, hold on. When you said I can't up and out of my seat?
Hello.
Angeles to stand trial for the machine gunning of a police officer in Los Angeles. I was supposed to worm my way into the affections of his sister and whatever it took to get the information that I needed as far as what kind of defense they planned to use as to turn this information over to the federal prosecution.
Did you do it?
I got the information, and thank God I didn't have to go through with the actual thing of sexual activity.
What do you mean, thank God?
The sister was rather unappealing.
How did you justify to the organizations in which you had infiltrated yourself that you were living on an $800 a week stipend or on an $800 a week standard of living when most of them were living hand to mouth?
Well, hey, brother, I'm hustling, I mean, hey, man, so a little this on the side, a little of that on the side, I get over, that kind of thing. In other words, ain't nobody's business but mine where I get the money. So, everybody took it for granted that I was possibly doing a little dealing on the side, that kind of thing. Then also, everybody liked me for the simple reason that I would do things that I didn't have to do. I would go out of my way. Mafunde would have a pageant and they needed someone to do the sound setup for him. And I'd say, of course, I'll do it for you. That kind of thing. I was very well liked at one time in the community.
Would you say to American citizens that this situation of surveillance and infiltration continues to this day?
Oh, yes.
On the dimension that you experienced?
Probably much larger by now.
Larger?
Oh, yeah. Let me put it to you like this. each year, everything gradually escalated up more and more. So I figured when I left, it didn't stop escalating. As they say, one monkey does not stop anybody's show.
You mentioned Sammy Davis Jr., who at one time, it was reported, gave money to the Black Panther Party, I believe. Were you ever assigned to look into that?
Yes, I was told to try to get as close to Mr. Davis or to anyone in his office as I could. I used to go up and have real chit-chat, chummy conversation with his personal secretary, Ann, at the 9000 building on Sunset. And I used to bring a Portapac video camera, and I used to go around and I would videotape the whole office.
You mean celebrities would be coming into his office and you'd film them freely?
Oh, yeah.
Didn't they question that?
I'm from the Ross Writers Workshop. Yeah, right on, brother. You know, that kind of thing. No questions asked. Same thing with the NAACP Image Awards. You know,
Yeah, see what I'm saying?
They were very interested in people like Sammy Davis Jr. There was another black in Los Angeles that they were very interested in because, not Los Angeles, but in Sacramento, Nathaniel Colley, who's attorney for the NAACP. And I know Nat. And they wanted information on him, just for the simple reason that he's an attorney for the NAACP, which makes no sense to me, but must make a lot of sense to them because they use the information.
You've been called upon to testify in Washington. Before who?
Before the Senate committee. I was called first to testify before the church committee. And I did go to Washington, D.C. I did testify to those people. And I want to say right now that the committee was full of smack. They got loads and loads of information, didn't even use it, didn't release it. I had tapes that I offered to them in evidence against the Federal Bureau of Investigation with conversations of me and my supervising officer, where he's telling me to obtain certain articles for him by stealing. Don't get fingerprints on it. We can really use that. Did you take the weapons over to such and such? The church's committee told me that they couldn't use the tapes because the tapes were gotten by illegal means.
What would you say about the composition of the committee panel that questioned you?
I can say that's for the birds too, because the same people that I was talking about were the same people on the panel with the church's committee.
What do you mean?
When I came in the room to be interviewed by the so-called people from the church's committee, the representatives from the Federal Bureau of Investigations were also in the room.
FBI agents were a member of the church committee panel.
They were there with the investigation. And see, this is another thing that I find fault with, and this is another reason why I am not going to Washington, D.C., is that, again, I have been asked to come again for the second time. I'm not going again for the simple reason that when I went up there with the idea that there were agencies investigating the Federal Bureau of Investigation, not the Federal Bureau of Investigation investigating itself.
You're on the lam, almost. Do you have a sense that you're going to be arrested and go to prison?
Oh yeah, eventually. Eventually, when things come to a head, it has to. Has to be that way. No other way around it.
What would you say to citizens who sit and listen to what you've said and have a sense of frustration and helplessness?
There are some agents, the old line agents, that disagree with the tactics that were used during the so-called COINTEL period. But one thing I don't want us to jump off of is that people always they're talking about COINTEL now so heavily. I'm not talking about COINTEL. I'm talking about a thing called BD, which was better known as Black Desk. The Black Desk was set up for a simple thing of infiltrating black organizations and black groups, whatever.
Where was this black desk, or were there a number of them?
There were a number of black desks, but the head black desk was in Washington, D.C., controlled by Sullivan. And
Was he black?
No.
Mm-hmm. And what was the function of the black desks all over the country? I guess there were dozens.
The function of the black desk was to monitor activity, social unrest, revolutionary groups, cultural groups, and such in the black community.
And feed it into this central
Yes.
desk. And it still exists?
As far as I know, yes.
We've seen a number of investigations into the assassination of Martin Luther King. We've seen an extended police trial of the assassination of Malcolm X. What you seem to say substantiates what many black people say out on the street, that government agents or agencies knew that these assassinations were brewing and either participated in them or allowed them to take place.
It would behoove black people, it would behoove all people, really, to question so-called the cut and dry one lone assassin theory. The Bureau and other intelligence agencies are very good at conspiracies. They are very good at setting people up to be killed. They are very good at making innuendos so the person will be killed.
City police don't know about because they have policemen in there. They don't let black people form anything without some policemen in there. And while I was in the Black Muslim movement, over the Black Muslim movement, many of the police who were sent to infiltrate us, they're black, would tell me, say, look, I'm a cop, but I have to come. They would tell me. I knew the Muslim movement was full of police. So don't you think anything is going down that they don't know about? The only thing.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, we can't do shit without them motherfuckers in it.
Wow.
Bro, Bulldozer still had his spine, bro.
Nigga, we damn, bro, like that's wild, crazy.
I guess I get it because you don't want to keep kicking them out because they gonna keep sending them. So I guess you keep them as long as you can identify and you know who it's to. But then how is niggas position to be able to do?
At least them ones actually told them. Right. At least, I mean, like that's. I mean, I guess that's the most solid thing you could do is tell them, like, hey, nigga, hey, look, I'm the FBI nigga, and I'm assigned to this shit. And y'all niggas just hold y'all head, nigga, cause that shit ain't fair, bro.
Yeah, I think never form nothing, bro. I'm too paranoid, man. The niggas that ain't nobody, I'll have everybody under fire. You heard? It be real. Nigga, you slip up one time, nigga, you done. Nigga, you done. I ain't talking about taking your card back and kicking you out. Nigga, you done. You heard?
Man, but I just don't. What type? It take a real rat bastard to pull that shit off, man.
Yeah.
Man, you really don't like your people, bro.
But even for
really
you,
don't like your people.
That formed up into like the FBI. Type of motherfucker. They know you think of that shit. Like
I'm trying to get the original.
So there's a party for supper.
You said what, girl? You breaking up real bad. I can barely hear you, bro.
No, when you in the FBI and shit, you know what I mean? You gotta be a particular way in order for you to reach a certain stature, you feel me? So a lot of them motherfuckers in it that's black is just dark skinned, you feel me? They don't see themselves like they see themselves like dumb. They don't see themselves like oh.
But going forward, these Panther patches will no longer be on my uniform.
What? All right, y'all, what is up and welcome back, welcome back. So we got a situation because apparently there's a new Black Panther Party in town and they're led by a guy named Paul Birdsall. Now, people hate this guy for a number of reasons. They're saying he's an ex-gang member, he's a CIA agent, he's an operative, he's a fake, and he's doing this for money. So I'm going to play a couple clips for y'all. I want to know what y'all think about this. And also, Huey P. Newton's niece has come out and said that she's going to sue them because they don't.
Little birdie talk shit. It fuck around and be that obvious too. I'm saying.
Actually represent the Black Panther Party, and it's very interesting what happens after she says this. Watch this.
Let me tell you what you need to do. You need to go get a gun license, right? And you need to arm yourself. You depend on you. You need you.
Okay, I knew I wasn't tripping. I'm not I think I'm petty as hell for this. I'm petty, bro. Thought.
Yeah.
Rude.
Oh yeah.
What do you see wrong here? Left eye normal. Bro, what's up with buddy? What's up with his eye, cuz? Is that a real eye?
Oh, bro.
Is that a glass eye? Or is that like some type of robot glitch or some shit? Clone, some type of clone glitch. I don't know. Like, what y'all think that is?
Oh, man. They just put the lightest thing. Weird ass thing. Maybe I think a cyborg.
In California, okay? My handle name is Maisha 415 Newton. If you don't believe me, we just came out with the second book, The Roots of the Revolutionary Suicide. This is the roots of Huey P. Newton, okay? That's my father, okay? These are our grandparents, okay? There go he right there, okay? I got birth certificate, paperwork, and a whole bunch of Newtons who are ready to, listen, this goes out to the Black Panther Party, the new United Black Panther Party, whoever's out there protesting with these Somalians. I'm about to get a cease and desist order against you, and I'm about to sue you because you guys are, you are not going to defame my uncle's name like that. We're not doing that. See you in court, bitches. Y'all ain't no Black Panthers. What y'all, the cartoon motherfucking character? Y'all don't even know your fucking history. Y'all sitting out there and want to fight for an illegal who's taking away your housing, your benefits, kicking you out of your motherfucking shit. And you want to get up there and act like this is, we ain't doing this. And the cold part about it is that little space monkey up there talking about, oh, you come up over here, we gonna do this. Nigga, you's a mark. You a mark, okay? That's right. I'm coming straight from a real Newton. You a mark ass motherfucker. And guess what? Your day of running around here pretending and wanting to be a Panther, a Black Panther, the Black Panther Party is over. Watch this, player, coming for you.
So it's not weird to y'all at all that all of a sudden there's a Black Panther chapter in Philly that is posting videos like every day with a dude that none of us have ever worked with before? That's not weird to y'all? It's not weird to y'all that the algorithm is just pushing that through?
All of y'all now are familiar with this guy right here, Paul Birdsong, the guy who's going around screaming he's the new chairman of the Black Panther Party. I want y'all to take a look at this footage right here that I found.
Chief, of an interview we did 2 weeks ago with a protester. He talked about protesters in Portland being taken in unmarked vehicles by agents. But during the interview, he talks about gangs in Lansing.
You come try to snatch one of us, the rest of us gonna blast your. You better do that while we not with each other. And then you come to in Sandhurst with the Pyrus and the Gangster Disciples is linked up at and try to snatch somebody over there. I did.
That nigga just dog snitching, bro. Yo, that was the
Make sure
key.
you get this in. Come over there, try to take somebody.
Not only do we have that footage, but come to find out, your man's is a sexual offender. Sexual offender. Registered. Me in the comments. Y'all have to stop blindly following people that just pop up out of nowhere with a cause. This man is an agent. He is an agent that is working for the government in some way, shape, or form. I do not believe this man has free will and he's out here making decisions on his own. I've seen him as a Pyru. I've seen him dressed as a Blood. I've seen him in a Malcolm X outfit. He has identity crisis. He has identity crisis. Huey P. Newton's daughter is filing a lawsuit against this man for using the Black Panther name and image. But y'all, please stop following false prophets. Don't J. Cole got a song about false prophets?
All power to the people. As everyone knows, Paul Bird no longer supports us. That after he gave me orders to make a video saying that him and other members were coming, that he withdrew his support, and that he said that this situation is unimportant to him, even though my comrades have risked their lives and spent thousands of hours of their time and dollars in life standing behind a cause. You know, he said he's going to make a statement saying no one has the right to call himself a Black Panther going forward. I told him to make sure that he put in that statement that he did in fact give us the right to call ourselves. You put in there that Emory Douglas did give us the right to wear that emblem, because I still have the messages where that happened too. Because of that, because of me and my comrades risking our lives and all the heat that we went on, because we don't believe in Black nationalism, like Bobby Seale said in the video that I shared on my page earlier, that Black nationalism is acquiesced to racism, and that we don't stand like that we're internationalists and intercommunalists, just like Huey Newton said. We will no longer identify with this flag. We will no longer identify ourselves as the Black Panther Party for self-defense. We're going to take OG from the town's advice. We're going to take the name that he decided to put out there. We're going to stand with the immigrants. We will stand with the people being terrorized for ICE. We will stand with any oppressed people across the world. We will keep feeding every single day, keep offering food every single day. We will keep patrolling the community with guns. We will keep stopping drug dealers, keep stopping sex traffickers. We will keep stopping police brutality. This little plaque that I got, it says Paul Birdsong, and as a Panther says since 2020. I don't regret the work that I've done because it's brought me to this point. But going forward, these Panther patches will no longer be on my uniform.
What?
Me and my comrades stand independent. We're willing to work. Now, if you're out here raping people and killing people and selling drugs and different stuff like that, yeah, deport them. But those people out there that are just working hard trying to provide countries to come for that promise of the American dream that the United States of America Incorporated lies about, we feel that they shouldn't be bothered, and we're willing to stand beside them to ensure that they're not. All power to the people. All power to the people.
Now, a lot of people are calling bullshit on this. On one hand, it's refreshing to see a group of black men come together for a cause, right? Because that's something you don't see often, you know. You see us come together on debate panels and shit like, you don't see us come together when it comes to serious things like this. The fuck did he come from? Who is he? Is he a plant? Is he just doing this for cash? I'm gonna be honest when I hear him talk, when I hear the brother talk, he seems sincere. He doesn't appear like he's an agent, but I could be wrong. And of course, an agent wouldn't seem like an agent because they're trained, right? It's just a never-ending cycle of should this get violent? Because one thing I don't want to see is any type of civil war between the people and the government. I think the government would win, honestly, because they have weapons of mass destruction and we don't. Point blank, period. They can level towns and cities. We don't have that type of weapon as people. So I don't want to see a civil war. I want to see peace, but I want to see what they do. I want to see the good that they do. I'm going to be optimistic on this because honestly, I don't know. And I think a lot of people should come to grips with that realization from time to time and just say, hey, I don't know. I hope for the best. I'm going to think about this in good faith. You know what I mean? But I could be wrong. I want to know what y'all think about this. As always, if you like what you see, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.
The Trump administration is still holding firm to its claim that 37-year-old Alex Preddy wasn't just an innocent protester in the lead up to his fatal shooting by federal agents. No, they're not doing that. In the words of Border Patrol Commander Greg Bovino, Preddy was at the scene to, quote, do maximum damage and massacre law enforcement. But footage of the shooting paints a very different picture. A new Washington Post analysis, zoomed-in footage appears to show a federal agent removing the handgun Preddy was legally carrying just moments before another agent shoots him multiple times. One thing we should point out as well, at no point in this video or any video that we have had this morning, if Preddy did in fact threaten officers with his gun, Bovino, FBI director, got a straight answer.
A threat because he had a gun in his hand that put law enforcement in danger.
Danny, we heard the law enforcement officer say gun, gun, gun. So at some point, they knew there was a gun.
Was the gun visible, or did Border Patrol see the gun after they shot him?
Again, all those pieces of the investigation are being led by DHS. It's an HSI, and I don't want to.
This investigation will be hearing from those agents and officers and people on the ground.
Joining us now are Jason Hauser, former chief of staff for ICE under President Biden, and George Conway, attorney and president of the Society for the Rule of Law. He's also running for Congress in New York's 12th congressional district. Jason, I'll start with you. Your reaction to the contrast between what we're hearing from officials and what they're saying, and the fact that you already have people in the administration coming out and describing Alex Peretti as a would-be assassin, as a domestic terrorist, and yet when they get pressed to substantiate any of their allegations, they throw their hands up in the air and say, "Oh, the investigation is going to determine that," and it's an investigation being led by an agency that is ill-equipped to do so.
Yeah, thanks for the question. I think my thoughts come around 2 or 3 different key points. First, I asked myself, as a former chief of staff of ICE, is how would these investigations typically happen? There would be a multi-pronged, multi-agency review, sort of unbiased, out of the political sphere, out of social media, review investigation that would include interviews, going through the surveillance video, etc. This would happen in typical ICE practice, whether there's a death in custody or whether there's a use of force in this situation. On the second point is we have a situation where this is now being adjudicated in the public sphere and on social media and the media. That is not helpful to law enforcement. That is not helpful to the public, and that is not helpful for the continued trust in federal law enforcement to carry out their mission going after national security threats. 2, we have to ask ourselves strategically, why were these officers in this neighborhood? What was in the public safety interest that they were carrying out? We can clearly see that tensions are heightened, that it is not just tactically on the ground for officers to de-escalate, but it is for senior leaders of federal law enforcement and the government to de-escalate these situations and focus law enforcement and we need to ask ourselves, and the government and the law enforcement needs to ask themselves, how are we going to be able to carry out our mission, and how are we going to keep communities safe?
George, you have been a lifelong conservative, I guess, until recently. I don't know how you identify yourself now that you're running in a Democratic primary. You've been a member of the comments from Trump administration officials suggesting that the fact that Alex Peretti had a firearm on him meant that they were justified in shooting him. How does that sit with you? What does that suggest about how this administration feels about Second Amendment rights?
Well, that's just legally atrocious. It's legally wrong. You have the right to carry a firearm under the Second Amendment. In Minnesota, you have the right to carry a firearm. And what the point, they lie. That's for murder. We have a liar. And unless you lie on his behalf, you lose your job. And he surrounded himself by other sociopathic liars. So all you're going to hear from this administration are lies about this. And we have to stop saying, well, this is what a normal administration would do. This is what a normal DHS would do. This government is a criminal organization at this point. And what they're going to do is they're going to cover this. They're going to cover this murder up, and they're not going to investigate it. And we have to start talking about impeachment and removal of the president and senior cabinet officers.
Jason, I have to ask you about Attorney General Pam Bondi. She sent a letter to Governor Walz basically saying, I'd be willing to call off ICE, get them out of your city, your state, but hand me over a couple of things, the most, I guess, eye-popping of them being your voter rolls. What exactly do voter rolls have to do with immigration enforcement in the interior and public safety?
Migrants can't vote, so they don't have anything to do with immigration enforcement. And from my understanding and my time at DHS, CBP, and ICE, the Minnesota Department of Corrections has always had a relationship with immigration enforcement officials, turning over those that are criminally convicted criminals and those that are national security and public safety threats. And in these instances, in this instance, let's just look at this specifically, what happened on the ground here. You had dozens of Border Patrol officers responding in an instance in these sort of heightened circumstances where there's a lot of tension and fear on all sides, where officers potentially are not trained even to sort of carry out this. Border Patrol has a national security mission on the border, not in these communities. But we have a situation now where dozens of thousands of officers across the state of Minnesota are off their normal mission set. That's going after human smuggling, counterterrorism, human trafficking, drug smuggling. No one in the country has said that drug prices have been skyrocketing because there's so little on the market.
Like this shit.
Yeah, this is very fast thinking and reasoning. It's not done. Talk about nothing.
You say what you sound.
If they wasn't fit to do the job, then they shouldn't have been there to do the job. You shouldn't take a bunch of motherfuckers that's suffering from post-traumatic stress, get them guns, and send them into people's communities. The fuck is he talking about? This sound weird, man. Ain't no motherfucking way.
Yeah, that shit weird and
The
dangerous.
question of the attorney, or the questions that the attorney general raises to your question, is clearly this is not with the sort of typical operations of immigration enforcement. There's 1.5 million people that have final orders of removal that have exhausted their pathways to be in the country, and there is a small subset of individuals that have taken advantage of a broken immigration system that no one is now talking about fixing. Enforcement is just one piece of an immigration continuum. No one's talking about that. But this idea that we shouldn't have Border Patrol, FBI, ICE focused on actual convicted criminals and humanely removing, it sort of takes it away from what the public believes is ongoing. And it breaks down the public trust. And one final point is this erodes the relationship between federal law enforcement agencies and federal law enforcement and state and local law enforcement. This could take decades to rebuild.
No, I mean, and you look at, I'm going to go to George now, but you look at, there's a lawsuit from the Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension and the Hennepin Attorney's Office suing the administration, saying, don't destroy evidence. We need to have a pause. We need, this is, the concern is so great that this administration is just blatantly lying and destroying evidence. How can the American public trust anything that's coming out of this administration when they see with their own eyes in video footage that completely contradicts their narrative, and they are reminded yet again that
and a criminal administration.
That sound like bro went to sleep.
And they are covering up these crimes. And this isn't about immigration enforcement. The letter from Pam Bondi talking about voter rolls demonstrates that it's not about immigration enforcement. This is totally and completely, any serious scholar of international relations and history will tell you this is straight out fascism. They're using ICE and the Border Patrol not as immigration enforcement tools. They are using them as brown shirts. And there's been talk about, these people aren't trained, and a lot of them are trained. But people who pull the triggers on Renee Good and on Alex Preddy, they were experienced. Okay, what's happened here is you have a police force that's beholden to a president that's being told, we have your backs no matter what. Do what you will to. This is about the election. This is about ending democracy. We have to stop pretending that there is some argument that there is some legitimate law enforcement concern here, because there isn't. These people are destroying the Constitution. They are trying to destroy democracy, and they are using the mechanism of armed officers with masks who are just beating up citizens and killing citizens. They are using that tool to create disruption so that they can use more force to eliminate the possibility that they could be removed from office and suffer criminal sanctions for the crimes that they are now committing. That is what is happening in the United States today. And if we say it in any words that are less blunt, we're not telling the truth to the people.
Yeah, man, that's a sticky situation right there. Man, it's the fact they try to label dude a domestic terrorist off the bat.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining us from our home in Hollywood for the last 23 years. Tonight is our 23rd anniversary. We went on the air 23 years ago tonight. You weren't with us yet, Guillermo.
No, I was in the parking lot. Yeah, I was not here.
But we will still make love to celebrate tonight.
The same, yeah, let's do it.
It was a very different time back then, 23 years ago. It was better. It was a better time. I spent the weekend, like probably a lot of you did, looking at my phone and just one video after another, screaming people being torn from their families, Americans, people who were born in the United States being pulled out of their cars for the crime of having an accent or whatever, children, small children, babies being tear gassed, taken into custody, separated from their parents. Just one atrocity after another being committed by this gang of poorly trained, shamefully led, mask-wearing goons. And that is what they are. They're goons committing vile, heartless, and even criminal acts. And it's sickening to watch, and it's frustrating to watch. It's like we're all being forced to play a game that has no rules. They just make up the rules as they go along. We see these videos in which we clearly see one of our fellow Americans executed by ICE, and they won't even admit that it was a mistake. They say that the Honda SUV Renee Good was driving was weaponized. They say the gun Alex Preddy had a license.
Yo.
He did not even draw, did not touch a gun that was taken from him by one of the agents before he was shot dead by the other ones. They fired 10 times on an ICU nurse. You're telling us, well, it was justified, you know? Is that the law and order that you voted for if you voted for this? Every day is a nightmare now. My wife and I have family in Minneapolis. They're afraid to take their kids to school. They're afraid to go to work. And I can only imagine how people who aren't white feel about this. How does this end? What's the plan here? Is the plan to just keep doing this in every city that didn't vote for Donald Trump? Does anyone on any side believe this is good leadership? We keep saying we need to find subjects that we can agree on. Can we agree that peaceful protesters, including moms driving SUVs on their way back after dropping their 6-year-old off?
Stop.
Yeah, that Minnesota situation kind of sticky, bro. You know what I'm saying?
You say what?
I said that Minnesota situation kind of sticky.
You sharing your screen?
Nah. It's the fact that what their official statement don't line up with the camera show. You know what I'm saying? And they try to automatically paint dude as a domestic terrorist with the intent to cause maximum damage just because he open carried. You know what I'm saying? Practice the Second Amendment right. It's like that shit is kind of sticky.
Yeah, man. Especially when they let Kyle Rittenhouse do it. Remember, he was walking around with
an AR, yeah. Then he crossed state lines with it. You know what I'm saying? Which is illegal. I mean, he broke the law. Dude was well within his rights to have his burner on him. You know what I'm saying?
I'm about to do it right
now.
That's crazy. That shit crazy. Man, let me see what else we got out here.
Then you got in the back chat, you got proponents of the Second Amendment supporting the actions of those federal agents, which goes completely against your proponent, you being the proponent of the Second Amendment, because you make your own self a target.
A lot of people. People asking why the Black Panthers are going up against ICE for the immigrants. Well, I want to tell you something. The Black Panther self-defense, the one that Huey Newton started with Bobby Seale, is an international organization that stands as allies with oppressed people, no matter what their ethnic background is, no matter what their cultural background is.
Unarmed woman was killed by ICE. If you think you're about to come and brutalize the people while we're standing here, come around and find out.
Shooting in Minneapolis sparked protests all across the country, some of them in frigid temperatures. People gathered in Washington. People marched through the streets.
The people united will never be defeated.
The city of Minneapolis is filing a declaration after today's shooting to encourage the judge to rule on a temporary restraining order on Monday that would grant us immediate relief and would help stop this operation that has been so harmful to the city of Minneapolis. The state of Minnesota has resulted in multiple shootings and tragic deaths. I have formally requested assistance from the National Guard to support the limited number of officers that we have in the Minneapolis Police Department.
The circumstances surrounding the fatal shooting of Alex Priddy in Minneapolis on January 24th, 2026, have once again ignited a powerful gathering of community forces that few could have predicted, just like it did after the tragic shooting of Renee Nicole Good. In the wake of yet another deadly encounter with federal agents, a remarkable alliance seemed to be taking place as the Black Panther Party joined forces with the Minnesota National Guard to push back against the overreaching federal immigration operation. And hopefully this partnership will help send ICE and Border Patrol agents retreating from key areas in Minnesota and Minneapolis to restore a measure of control to state and community leaders amid escalating tensions. Now, this moment is rooted in weeks of growing unrest. The Trump administration's aggressive immigration crackdown had flooded Minneapolis with thousands of federal agents, turning neighborhoods into zones of constant surveillance and fear. But like I've always said, what began as targeted enforcement against individuals involved in reported fraud cases quickly escalated into widespread disruption. Local police resources were stretched thin, trying to deal with the consequences from federal actions that included aggressive patrols, detentions, and confrontations. The first major tragedy struck earlier in the month with the shooting of Renee Good. That incident led to massive, peaceful protests all over the country, even in sub-zero temperatures, as residents demanded an end to the presence of the unnecessary occupying force of these ICE agents. Then came January 24. Alex Priddy, a 37-year-old intensive care unit nurse and lifelong Minneapolis resident, was shot and killed near 26th Street and Nicollet Avenue. Priddy, who was described by family and colleagues as a compassionate caregiver who had protested the crackdown to stand up for his community, became the second American citizen fatally shot by federal agents in less than a month.
And then trying to weigh this shit in front of the people. Like a Jedi mind trick. It's a Jedi mind trick.
Right.
What you saw, you didn't see, nigga. He was on.
Yeah, he ran up on law enforcement with the burner.
Bystander videos captured the sequence. Agents were shoving a woman to the ground and Priddy stepping in to help her up while holding his phone. Then, without warning, he was pepper sprayed, and then a chaotic takedown happened. Multiple officers then surrounded him, strikes and punches were delivered, and at least 10 shots were fired, all after he had been disarmed and on the ground, because video footage showed an ICE agent walking away with a gun in his hand after he had joined in the chaos. And as we all expected, federal officials claimed self-defense, just like the case of Kate Rumler, stating Priddy approached with a handgun and resisted disarming. Yet footage analyzed frame by frame showed no clear draw of a weapon in the critical moments, and Priddy even held a valid carry permit with no serious criminal history. And just as it should be, the response was immediate and intense. Protesters flooded the streets despite the dangerous cold, building memorials, chanting for justice, and blocking access points. Mayor Jacob Frey and Police Chief Brian O'Hara also held urgent press conferences expressing outrage and demanding federal agents operate with the same humanity expected of local law enforcement. Frey directly addressed President Trump, asking how many more lives needed to be lost before the operation ended, and emphasizing that this was tearing communities apart rather than building safety. At the same time, Governor Tim Walz, having already spoken with the White House after the Good shooting, declared Minnesota has had it and called the Priddy incident sickening, and he demanded an immediate withdrawal of the agents. Next, he activated the Minnesota National Guard at the request of Mayor Frey and local officials. The Guard members were deployed in neon reflective vests to distinguish themselves and assisted with vehicle perimeters around the shooting scene. But the most important thing to note here is that this was a state-controlled deployment with no federal involvement to prevent any potential nationalization by the president. And as Guard units arrived, reports from witnesses and social media described federal agents pulling back from positions they had held aggressively moments earlier. Some appeared to abandon posts entirely and retreated as the organized state force took over. Also joining forces with the Guards were the Black Panther Party. Following Renee Good's death, the Black Panthers became visible at protests in places like Philadelphia, providing security, distributing resources, and standing armed in solidarity against what they viewed as state violence. Also in Minneapolis, after Priddy's shooting, members and allies of these Panther-inspired groups mobilized quickly. They positioned themselves near the shooting site and protest zones, offering protection to demonstrators, helping coordinate with community members, and ensuring peaceful gatherings remained safe from potential escalation. At the same time, Minnesota is taking aggressive legal action against the Trump administration to halt the massive deployment of ICE and Border Patrol agents. The lawsuit argues that Operation Metro Surge, which was launched in late 2025 and intensified with thousands of armed, masked agents, has caused chaos, racial profiling, excessive force, and unnecessary violence. It also describes how the operation diverts local police resources, racks up overtime costs, and targets communities based on politics rather than legit and federal law, demanding an injunction to stop the operations, ban tactics like threatening force against non-targets, require visible identification and body cameras for agents, and end mask usage that conceals identities. Aside from this, Hennepin County and the Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension filed an emergency motion for a temporary restraining order to prevent federal agents from destroying or altering evidence at the scene of the Alex Priddy shooting. Thankfully, a federal judge granted a limited TRO late that Saturday, barring DHS from tampering with evidence through Monday, when further arguments were expected. Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey also announced the city would because they are proving that when federal actions cross lines, state authority and community self-defense will always come together to reclaim the streets. Thanks for watching. And if this breakdown helped you make sense of what's happening, please give it a like and subscribe so you don't miss the next update. Also, share this video and turn on your notifications. Until next time, stay curious.
For months, masked federal
Hey, they
agents
spraying
have
people like
aggressively
roaches.
engaged with protesters in several states while carrying out the president's immigration directives, shooting pepper balls into faces, using cars to move people, and even employing chokeholds on protesters, tactics endorsed by President Trump.
I think this shit gonna hurt. What's gonna hurt him the most, bro, is the fact that all of this shit happening, and he doubled down on like the police blameless, like like I think that's what's gonna cripple the most.
Right, it is. And it's causing a rift between the federal police and local law enforcement because they're being affected by that shit too. Like Minnesota police chief was up there talking about how his office has been reporting the same treatment when they off duty and shit. You know what I'm saying? And they're not being allowed access to these crime scenes that's happening because of ICE. What else you got, bro? You got something else you want to cover?
Yeah.
I've been watching videos.
Joining us now are Jason Hauser, former chief of staff for ICE under President Biden for Congress in New York. With you and what they're saying, and the fact that you already have people in the administration coming out and describing Alex Peretti as a would-be assassin, as a domestic terrorist, and yet when they get pressed to substantiate any of their allegations, they throw their hands up in the air and say, "Oh, the investigation is going to determine that," and it's investigation being led by an agency that is ill-equipped to do so.
Yeah, thanks for the question. I think my thoughts come around 2 or 3 different key points. First, I asked myself, as a former chief of staff of ICE, is how would these investigations typically happen? There would be a multi-pronged, multi-agency review, sort of unbiased, out of the political sphere, out of social media review investigation that would include interviews, going through the surveillance video, etc. This would happen in typical ICE practice, whether there's a death in custody or whether there's a use of force in this instance. It would clearly we have a situation, the public, and that is not helpful for the continued trust in federal law enforcement to carry out their mission going after national security threats. 2, we have to ask ourselves strategically, why were these officers in this neighborhood? What was in the public safety interest that they were carrying out? We can clearly see that tensions are heightened, that it is not just tactically on the ground for officers to de-escalate, but it is for senior leaders of federal law enforcement and the government to de-escalate these situations and focus law enforcement on national security and public safety threats. That is not what is occurring, clearly, and we need to have a reset moment in this specific in Minnesota, and we need to ask ourselves, and government and the law enforcement needs to ask themselves, how
George, you have been yourself now that you're running in a Democratic primary. You've been a member of the Federalist Society. I'm wondering what you make of the comments from Trump administration officials suggesting that the fact that Alex Peretti had a firearm on him meant that they were justified in shooting him. How does that sit with you? What does that suggest about how this administration feels about Second Amendment rights?
Well, that's just legally atrocious. It's legally wrong. You have the right to carry a firearm under the Second Amendment. In Minnesota, have the right to carry a firearm. And what the point, they lie. That's what this is about. They are lying, and they're creating an after-the-fact excuse for murder. And this is what they do. they lie. We have a sociopath of a president who is a pathological liar. And unless you lie on his behalf, you lose your job. And he surrounded himself by other sociopathic liars. So all you're going to hear from this administration are lies about this. And we have to stop saying, well, this is what a normal administration would do. This is what a normal DHS would do. This government is a criminal organization at this point. And what they're going to do is they're going to cover this murder up, and they're not going to investigate it. And we have to start talking about impeachment and removal of the president and senior cabinet officers.
Jason, I have to ask you about Attorney General Pam Bondi. She sent a letter to Governor Walz basically saying, you know, I'd be willing to call off ICE, get them out of your city, your state, but hand me over a couple things, the most, I guess, eye-popping of them being your voter rolls. What exactly do voter rolls have to do with immigration enforcement in the interior and public safety?
Migrants can't vote, so they don't have anything to do with immigration enforcement. You know, and from my understanding of my time at DHS, CBP, and ICE, the Minnesota Department of Corrections has always had a relationship with immigration enforcement officials, turning over those that are criminally convicted criminals and those that are national security and public safety threats. And in these instances, in this instance, let's just look at this specifically, what happened on the ground here. You had dozens of Border Patrol officers responding in an instance in these sort of heightened, you know, circumstances where there's a lot of tension and fear on all sides, where officers potentially are not trained even to sort of carry out this. Border Patrol has a national security mission on the border, not in these communities. But we have a situation now where dozens of thousands of officers across the state of Minnesota are off their normal mission set. That's going after human smuggling, counterterrorism, human trafficking, drug smuggling. No one in the country has said that drug prices have been skyrocketing because there's so little on the market. But to the question of the attorney, you know, or the questions that the Attorney General raises to your question, is clearly this is not with the sort of typical operations of immigration enforcement. There's 1.5 million people that have final orders of removal that have exhausted their pathways to be in the country. And there is a small subset of individuals that have taken advantage of a broken immigration system that no one is now talking about fixing. Enforcement is just one piece of an immigration continuum. No one's talking about that. But this idea that we shouldn't have Border Patrol, FBI, ICE focused on actual convicted criminals, the public believes is ongoing, and it breaks down the public trust. And one final point is this erodes the relationship between federal law enforcement agencies and federal law enforcement and state and local law enforcement. This could take decades to rebuild.
No, I mean, and you look at, I'm going to go to George now, but you look at, there's a lawsuit from the Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension and the Hennepin Attorney's Office suing the administration, saying, don't destroy evidence. We need to have a pause. We need, this is, the concern is so great that this administration is just blatantly lying and destroying evidence. How can the American public trust anything that's coming out of this administration when they see with their own eyes in video footage that completely contradicts their narrative, and they are reminded yet again that at the end of the day, people can see and process information?
Again, this is a criminal president and a criminal administration, and they are engaging in crimes, and they are covering up these crimes. And this isn't about immigration enforcement. The letter from Pam Bondi talking about voter rolls demonstrates that it's not about immigration enforcement. This is totally and completely, any scholar, any serious scholar of international relations and history will tell you this is straight out fascism. They're using ICE and the Border Patrol not as immigration enforcement tools. They are using them as brown shirts. And there's been talk about, oh, these people aren't trained. And a lot of them aren't trained. But the people who pull the triggers on Renee Good and on Alex Preddy, they were experienced. Okay, this what's happened here is you have a police force that's beholden to a president that's being told, we have your backs no matter what. Do what you will to these people. Do what you will to the public, because they want to intimidate and scare people. They want to control people. And the voter rolls, this is about the election. This is about ending democracy. We have to stop pretending that there is some argument that there is some legitimate law enforcement concern here, because there isn't. These people are destroying the Constitution. They are trying to destroy democracy, and they are using the mechanism of armed officers with masks who are just beating up citizens and killing citizens. They are using that tool to create disruption so that they can use more force to eliminate the possibility that they could be removed from office committee in the United States today. And if we say it in any words that are less blunt, we're not telling the truth to the people.
As protests continue in response to the fatal shootings of Renee Good and Alex Pretty by federal immigration agents in Minneapolis, a federal judge in Minnesota heard arguments Monday in a lawsuit filed by state officials alongside the cities of Minneapolis and St. Paul to halt Trump's unprecedented to the state. Minnesota General Keith Ellison, who was in court yesterday, has likened the deployment of ICE agents to a federal invasion. U.S. District Judge Kate Menendez questioned the Trump administration on whether its militarization of Minnesota is intended to, quote, punish plaintiffs for adopting sanctuary laws and policies, unquote. Attorney General Ellison spoke after the hours-long court hearing.
This is the single largest deployment of immigration officers in one place at one time, in a state that is not even in the top of immigration. What justifies this disproportionate flood? Nothing legitimate, but the president has been clear. Retribution.
In a separate hearing later in the day, a Trump administration lawyer assured a Minneapolis federal judge being preserved by federal investigators. The lawyer did not specify whether the body cam footage would be shared with Minnesota authorities and did not confirm how many agents were wearing cameras at the time of the shooting. Minnesota state officials are urging the court to extend an emergency order prohibiting the Trump administration from destroying or altering evidence after Border Patrol agents shot Pretty dead. The federal government has blocked local investigators from reviewing the evidence, just like it did after the fatal shooting of Renee Good. For more, we go to Minneapolis, where we're joined by Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison. Welcome back to Democracy Now!, Attorney General. If you could start off by talking about...
You, Amy. How are you?